Hello? Hello, Disney Infinity trainers. Welcome to a little bit of a different type of video than I normally do on my channel. But I just thought that since there's some Disney Infinity news that we would talk about it. And yeah, there has been periods of times where there has been Disney Infinity news, throughout, the summer and all that, and I didn't do a video for those, but I don't know, for this one, I just felt like, we'll try it out. So this is going to be like, maybe a little bit along the lines of more of a podcasty type of episode where I just kind of talk about things, and I'll try not to make it very long. I'm keeping track of the time, or I will at least try to keep track of the time, so that I don't go overboard and talk for like 50 minutes about this. Because I can if it comes to that. So the big news today, there are a couple points that I do want to talk about here. The main one is the new character announcement that occurred today, or maybe yesterday. I think it occurred on Thursday, October 8th. So depending on whenever I post the video, it'll be sometime after that. But at the time of recording, today is the day that the announcement was made. And basically, excuse me, basically, it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, obviously, anytime they announce a new figure, or anytime they announce that they're going to announce a new figure, it drives everyone crazy. And there's so many characters that could be announced. So many Marvel characters, so many Disney characters, so many Star Wars characters that it just gets everyone talking, all the speculation. And I think Disney Infinity loves that, and they should love that. They should want to see discussion and discourse with their game, and they should want to see people excited about it, right? And so it works. So the thing is, yesterday, October 7th, I think this was the day that they actually announced it. But I was checking my Twitter when I was in line at Walmart because there was so many people there and I needed to kill some time. But you didn't need to know that. But anyways, I was checking my Twitter and I saw that they said, tomorrow at New York Comic Con, we're going to be announcing a new figure. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a little unexpected. So I think it was, Wednesday, October 7th, they said, tomorrow we are announcing a new figure. Well, the way they said it is we are unmasking a new figure, a new Marvel figure. So obviously, once again, like I was saying, it drives everyone crazy. Everyone's saying, oh, well, is it going to be this one? Is it going to be that one? And I had my own thoughts of who it would be. Personally, I thought it would be Ant-Man, because Ant-Man is a character that we are pretty much 99% sure is coming to Disney Infinity, because they've basically announced it without announcing it. But for some reason, even though they teased him in the summer, in June, I think it was, they still have made no clear announcement about Ant-Man at all. And so for all we're concerned, we don't even know if Ant-Man's coming. I'm pretty sure he is, but I thought it was going to be Ant-Man. I thought they were going to finally announce Ant-Man. However, the character that they actually announced is Captain America. And if you're scratching your head at this point, then I understand. if you're saying to yourself, but we already have a Captain America figure. Well, you're right. And so basically, and this is supposed to correspond with the kind of Civil War movie, Captain America 3 Civil War, that's coming out, I believe, next year, maybe the year after that. But it's Captain America 3 Civil War. It's going to be a great movie. It's going to, I'm super excited. I'm sure everyone's pretty excited about it. And so basically, this figure looks different than regular Captain America. The most notable difference is, and it resembles Captain America from the movies, whereas you could make the argument that the original Captain America figure from 2.0 just looks like any old kind of cartoony version of Captain America. And this new Captain America figure, it looks a lot like Chris Evans, who plays Captain America in the movies. And his outfit resembles the outfit that he wears in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. I think the one that he wears in Age of Ultron, that's what it looks like. So I'll put up a couple pictures here so you can kind of compare. And as you can tell, his face is fully unmasked, so that looks cool, because it does look a lot like Chris Evans, so that's really awesome. And the coloration of the suit is a little bit darker. I mean, I don't have the Captain America figure in front of me right now, but off the top of my head, I remember it being a little bit more of a paler blue, and the red is maybe more of a bright red. And this Captain America figure, it looks very different. The blue is a little darker, maybe a little more like royal blue, and the red is kind of maybe along the lines of like crimson. And so, yeah, it looks very different. He has like the straps on his suit that are kind of like black or brown, and then his gloves are like darker brownish black or whatever. And then he has the shield in front of him, so he's standing up, and the shield is like on the ground, but it's like right in front of him, and he's like holding it up. And it's a cool figure. It looks great, and that's why I think it's worth noting. It's worth talking about kind of the reception for this. They announced it. And I mean, I went on Twitter today at like 10 or 11, and there was already tons of discussion about it. And I think it seemed like there was maybe 3 groups of people in response to this figure. The first group is saying, "This figure is awesome, I can't wait, it looks awesome." The other group is saying the opposite, which is, "Oh, well, it's another variant, okay, like, do we need that?" And then the third group is in the middle, and it's saying something along the lines of, "Okay, well, yeah, the figure looks cool, but, do we really need another figure?" And so I think I fall more into that middle group, leaning more towards the slightly disappointed, for lack of a better term. And yeah, I am a little disappointed with this. Especially when they announced, "Oh, we're going to announce a new Marvel figure tomorrow." And, everyone's like, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Wasp, Vision, Scarlet Witch. And it's another variant, a character that we already have. And yeah, that's got to be disappointing. And I really am interested in seeing their kind of thought process for making this Captain America figure. I mean, yeah, they could probably say something like, we wanted a character to maybe a more up-to-date Captain America figure that ties into the movie version of Captain America. And yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, here we have the precedent for this. There is precedent for this. This has happened before. Variant figures are nothing new. We have, Sorcerer Mickey and regular Mickey, original Mickey, or whatever he's called. And those are both awesome, and I was happy about that. I was happy to get an original Mickey figure, and the Sorcerer Mickey's pretty cool as well. And then we have Iron Man, and now Hulkbuster Iron Man. And that was one where I was like, okay, well, I can see how he's very different, and he's probably going to play a lot differently because of the fact that Hulkbuster is huge, so he's probably going to be slower, bulkier, and more powerful, whereas regular Iron Man, he can fly quickly, and, he can shoot beams and whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, there's probably enough of a difference between these two characters that it warrants the necessity for one of them over the other, or for having both. But for the Captain America, I mean, they did say that, yes, this new Captain America figure, and they're calling it the First Avenger. I believe that's what Captain America is called. That's one of the kind of names for him. They're saying this figure is Captain America, the First Avenger figure, or whatever. And this new figure, the First Avenger figure, they said, yeah, it's going to be a little bit different than regular Captain America. It's going to play differently. It's going to have different moves, all that. And yeah, I mean, if it better. I would expect it to. But at the same time, it's like, okay, do we really need this? And that really introduces the whole question of, what about a power disc? Multiple characters in Disney Infinity, whether they're from Star Wars, Disney, or Marvel, all have, multiple characters have a power disc variant that changes their costume, and it doesn't change anything else about the figure. They're still the same exact figure, they still play the same way, but they look very different, and that's really cool. I mean, there's the King Mickey power disc, which stirred up a lot of controversy. a couple months ago when it was released. There's the Jack Skellington Power Disc where he looks like Sandy Claus, and even in the new Power Disc pack for Rise Against the Empire, we have a Luke and Leia Power Disc change. And so, yeah, like, why, I don't see why they couldn't have just made a Power Disc for Captain America so that it changes him to his, Age of Ultron outfit, right? Yeah, so that's my big question. That's my big gripe with it. I do see a lot of people disappointed, but then there are several people who are saying, oh, the figure looks amazing. I've seen someone say that the figure looks gorgeous, which I found a little funny. I mean, I'm not making fun of the person, but it's just like a funny way to describe it. I guess Chris Evans is gorgeous, but still. Anyways, so that's that with the whole, Disney Infinity, the figure, Captain America, and I want you to let me know what you think about this, given that we have Captain America already and the new figure is Captain America. What do you think about that? And what do you think about the power, should they have just made it into a Power Disc? Do you think there are more reasons than just that they wanted to make this figure? Also, this also introduces the question or not the question, but the idea that this likely takes up a spot of another Marvel character in 3.0, which is unfortunate because everyone has their favorite Marvel characters that they want to see. I want to see Ant-Man, I want to see Vision, I want to see X-Men, but I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon, but but that would be fantastic. Anyways, and so yeah, so there was a display case, a giant display case that they've been taking around with them to, E3, San Diego Comic-Con. It's probably over there at New York Comic-Con as well. And it shows all the figures that are released and that are announced up till now. And it has some empty slots that say, some of them say Marvel, some of them say Disney, some say Pixar, and some also say Star Wars. And so it's been basically common knowledge in the community since it's been released that this stand represents, or probably represents, how many more figures we're going to be getting in 3.0. And there are a lot of slots. I don't know the current update, but I think off the top of my head, there's like 16 or something Disney characters remaining, according to the stand. Now, none of this is confirmed, but this is what people are speculating. There are 16 Disney slots. I think there were like 4 Marvel slots and like 9 Star Wars slots. And that makes a little bit of sense, right? Because we know that there's the new Marvel playset. We know that there is the new Star Wars playset with the Force Awakens, and none of that has been announced yet. So that'll probably have 3 to 5 characters in it. And so that makes sense that there are probably around 9 Star Wars slots left. But with the Marvel, if it's true that there are only 4 slots left, that means that this Captain America figure takes up another 1, which means after that, well, that means there's only 3 left, right? And a lot of people were thinking, okay, it's going to be Ant-Man, Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. That's 4. But now, well, looks like one of those is on the chopping block. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that as well. What other characters do you think they will add into Disney Infinity? What characters do you want to see in Disney Infinity? But also, which characters do you think are logical? Which characters do you think will probably be in Infinity, whether you want it or not? Like, for me, for example, I could see them doing a Kylo Ren figure. Kylo Ren is the new villain from the Force Awakens, so they're probably going to make a figure of him because they're making a Force Awakens playset. A character that I really want is someone like Hades. Hades is very cool, or just other Disney villains like Captain Hook, Hades, Ursula. Those are all characters that would be awesome. However, I acknowledge that despite the fact that I want these characters in the game, they're probably unlikely to happen. So, but you can dream, if you can dream it, you can do it, right, Allison? I hope you can hear me. I'm actually driving right now, and I have my my device in my shirt pocket. I'm not holding it. I'm driving with both hands, don't worry. And I have my recording device in my shirt pocket, and I'm doing the voice memo, and I'm just talking. So, you know, and I'm on a freeway kind of thing. It's not like a freeway, but anyways, it's kind of noisy. I hope you can hear me. But so let's move on. So that's the figure drama. That sounds weird. The figure drama. The other kind of piece of man, this isn't really drama. The other announcement that was made at New York Comic Con today was the Marvel Playset, and we've known for a while that it's called Marvel Battlegrounds, but we haven't known much about it. When they first announced Marvel Battlegrounds, they announced a few maybe very tiny details about it. Well, one of them is maybe not very tiny. It's actually the fact that they said that you could play with up to 4 players locally, and everyone's been wondering, like, oh, how are you going to do that? And they still haven't really elaborated on that, at least as far as I know. But John Vignacci, JV, said, because someone asked him, they said, do you need 2 bases, or is there going to be a way to incorporate 4 players locally with this playset? And he said, we'll reveal more details when they come, or something like that. So that's interesting. That is interesting to think about. I can't imagine how they're going to do it, but anyways, the playset, they actually gave us a trailer of the playset, and they revealed more details about it. So basically, every single Marvel character from 2.0 or 3.0 is playable in this playset, and it's called Marvel Battlegrounds, and they said it's kind of like a 4-player brawler. So basically, I'm imagining it's going to be similar to like Super Smash Brothers, but in Disney Infinity with Marvel characters. So it's going to be like Super Smash Marvel characters, and I mean, obviously that sounds awesome, right? And they revealed a trailer. The trailer, to be quite honest, the trailer, like, I mean, it'll probably grow on me, but I didn't really see anything in that trailer that particularly struck me. But they didn't show a whole ton of gameplay. Like, they showed some of the characters fighting, but a lot of it was like kind of close-ups on characters using their moves and stuff. It didn't really show like the intricacies of the battles and anything like that. So we still don't know a lot about this, but we definitely expect more information to come. And another topic that's related to that I think is interesting to talk about is the fact that this is a 4-player brawler. That's what they're calling it, is a brawler game, like a game mode. And that's something that, like, yeah, that's worth talking about, because Disney Infinity with 3.0 is by far the best Disney Infinity game ever. It's a wonderful game. It's excellent. And they just keep getting better and better with these games. But something that it seems like they're really trying to stress these days is that Disney Infinity is such a broad game and such a broad like type of game that it really can do anything. That's something that I think they're really trying to get the point to non-Disney Infinity fans. They're saying, look what our game can do. And so yeah, we've seen this. We see this with, you know, the Inside Out playset. It's, you know, it's similar to platforming games like maybe Mario games or even Little Big Planet, something along those lines. And then there's the Toy Box Speedway, which a lot of people are probably going to end up comparing to something like Mario Kart. And then now we have this, you know, this Battle Brawler, which, of course, the first thing that people are going to compare it to is going to be Super Smash Brothers. And that, again, just furthers the idea that, yeah, Disney Infinity really wants to showcase what this game can do and really showcase to people that this game is not just, you know, it's everything, you know. And I think that's great. I think that's cool that they can do that. However, the interesting thing here is we look at something like the Squid Wars toy box that they built that was a complete 100% replica of Splatoon and a map on the Splatoon game. And basically that's what JV was saying was, yeah, this is what we want to show. And they, I mean, obviously they were conscious of of Splatoon when they made this toy box. They purposely made the toy box to emulate Splatoon. I'm not saying they ripped it off or any. I mean, everyone can have their own opinions on this, but basically their goal was to make a toy box that was completely 100% inspired by Splatoon and by I think the Arowana Mall map. It's one of the maps, but it looks exactly like it. And so they did that, and there was some controversy there. I think the loudest voices in that situation were saying, oh, they ripped off Nintendo, they ripped off Splatoon, they should sue them. My mom's gonna email them so they can sue them, stuff like that, right? And like, Disney Infinity didn't really say too much about it, but one day you looked for the toy box, if you search the toy box, oh, it's gone. Where did it go? So I think they took it down and removed it completely from, their servers. So yeah, so it looks like those louder voices definitely influenced that toy box, and Disney Infinity maybe didn't want the drama. I highly doubt that there was any type of legal battle or legal situation there. I highly doubt that, like, Nintendo said, oh, you better take this down. But I think Disney Infinity just took it down because they were getting a lot of hate from it. And so that's just kind of, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, the Marvel Battlegrounds is going to cause a lot of controversy. I mean, yeah, fanboys of other types of games, or haters or trolls are always going to have things to say, but, we gotta just take it for what it is. I mean, sure, it's probably going to be very cool because you can fight as any Marvel character in Disney Infinity, and I'm excited in that front. I love Venom, I love Spider-Man, I love, this and that, right? And yeah, the game's going to be cool. It should be pretty cool. We still don't know a lot about it, but I guess that is that, right? That is that. That is the Marvel Battlegrounds playset. So again, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of the drama in the community. There's always got to be drama, right? Everywhere you go. But I'm pretty sure the Marvel Battlegrounds playset will be fun, will be cool, and I am excited to attack people with my Venom figure. Even though it's similar, I mean, it kind of presents a new angle for our Disney Infinity Games series, because we do the Disney Infinity Games right now, which is kind of like an arena fighting game where you fight to the death. But my ideas, my thoughts for the Disney Infinity game when I created it was to make it a lot more similar, a lot more along the lines of the Hunger Games. And yeah, the Hunger Games, I mean, the Disney Infinity Games would be so much more fun with more players, with like 16 players. That would be a blast. But I think the most we can hit is 4, if I'm correct. So this begs the question, like, oh, well, if they're doing a Marvel Battlegrounds playset, which is just a straight up fighting game, should the Disney Infinity Games move to that front? And honestly, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that the Disney Infinity Games will remain as what it is, which is kind of inspired by the Hunger Games, which is like a huge arena where you run around and you can dodge, you can hide, you can find resources, stuff like that, and maybe build up resources, and in the end then just go straight for your opponent's throat. And we'll probably do some gameplay of the Marvel Battlegrounds playset to kind of show that off. But I think it's coming out in March 2016, so we still got a ways to go. The closest thing, there is something being released for Disney Infinity pretty soon. Next week, on Tuesday, I believe, would be the 13th, I believe, October 13th. The Toy Box Speedway is going to be available for purchase everywhere. So get ready for that. That should be a lot of fun. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I played that a little bit, and I played it at the Comic-Con pop-up shop, and that was fun. It was pretty cool, and the controls are a lot better than previous Disney Infinity games. In other Disney Infinity games, when you drive a car, it's pretty awful. You can't really get much done in that. And so it looks as though they actually worked on the mechanics for driving in Infinity, and they optimized it so that it's actually not so bad anymore. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely be picking that up, and that adds a new game mode, a new way to play Infinity. But at the same time, there are also things that can be unlocked for your toy box in the Toy Box Speedway. So certain pieces and toys can only be unlocked in the Speedway, and one of them is Elsa's Ice Castle. You know, that one's something that I'm really looking forward to because it looks really pretty, really cool, and the only way to unlock that is in the Speedway. So, and then in November we have a few more things coming out. I think we have a lot of things. Darth Maul, Spot, and Hulkbuster. No, Darth Maul, Hulkbuster, Ultron, and Spot, I believe, are all coming out in November. I think they're all coming out on the same day, so that's something else to look forward to. Definitely be on the lookout for those. Those are in November. That's next month. And The Force Awakens is coming out in December, so we might be able to expect a Force Awakens playset announcement, within the next 2 or 3 months. So a lot of Disney Infinity is coming out. And then in January, Boba Fett, in January, Boba Fett comes out. And then February, as far as I know, there's nothing. And then March, we have the Marvel Playset plus Nick and Judy from the Zootopia game. So pretty much almost every month from here on out is lined up with Disney Infinity releases, and I think they did a good job with that. I think that's pretty smart on their end, because it means that it keeps people excited about the game. It means that, okay, well, this month this comes out, and then I'll play with this, and then after a little while, I get used to playing with it. Oh, but then now this is coming out, and I'll be excited for this, and so. Yeah, pretty good stuff, pretty exciting. I'm excited for the future of Disney Infinity games. I was going to say Disney Infinity games, but I do mean that, but I also mean just Disney Infinity in general. There's a lot to be excited about, and a lot to be excited for my channel. All right, well, at this point, I'm basically just rambling, and so I'm uploading this video it's probably Friday today, the day that you're watching this. Well, that's when I'm uploading it. I mean, you might be watching it in 2 weeks from the day. Who knows? Anyways, my point is, I'm actually not home right now, so I wasn't able to record a Let's Build a Toy Box today, unfortunately, but I'm excited for that world. That's been going really well, and I actually am at a point where I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do next. That's rare. There were some episodes where I would just go right into it, and I would say, okay, well, what do I do now? It's so intimidating because there's so much you can do, but I think I have ideas for what I want to do next. So thank you everyone for watching. Definitely let me know what you think about all the points I talked about today. What do you think of the new Captain America figure? What do you think about the Marvel Battlegrounds playset? And I'll definitely, be responding to comments, but I'm excited to see what everyone thinks and hear some discussion being generated in this community, as I always am. So have a great day, a great night, a great evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you soon.